You are listening to a free audiobook sample of my book, Props, A History of Power in 7 Lessons. Buy the book or the audiobook on Amazon, and visit normcody.com for other extras. Introduction. Welcome. You have found your seat in the theater of history, silenced your cell phone, and let the lights dim above you like a cool blanket. You have elected to break away from our busy world, the one that produces information like confetti and offers endorphins in place of enlightenment. You have surrendered yourself to watch and listen, to take the forthcoming scenes in as a witness, to learn from the past with no hopes of talking back. Congratulations. Backstage, as we speak, a cast of world historical actors are waiting their turn to win you over. They are a remarkable and difficult bunch, and each of them sit now in their dressing rooms, contemplating their assigned prop. For some of them, the object might come as a surprise. For others, it might be all too familiar. Some might cringe at the sight of their props. Others might laugh. And what is a prop anyway? In the most limited sense, it's a theatrical term that is short for property, and it is those objects on the set that the actors can actively engage, like a gun, or we as viewers passively absorb, like a well-worn couch. They are nonverbal cues on the stage that move the story along. They might focus us, and they might distract us. They might elevate us, and they might destroy us. Ever since we gained control of our imposable thumb and wrapped our chimp hands around a bone, a rock, or a flower, our species has been fixated on objects, some shiny, some deadly. The delicate gems inlaid into a crown are connected to the most blunt instruments of war. Most objects, when examined closely, speak to us about power. An attention-starved Lamborghini, backfiring its way down Rodeo Drive, and a stack of anonymous laundry baskets at a box store tells us a lot about our present state of being, about who gets what, and when, and why and how. The props in this book, like the actors, have been carefully chosen, but they are just grappling hooks to understand what each of these objects say about the time in which they existed. As the subtitle states, this is a history of power, but it is not a comprehensive survey. It's a poetic marination, a way to light up the mind, to get us wondering, and leave us questioning. As you will soon discover, I have inserted myself into the vaulted company of my cast and into the narrative of this book. The first, middle, and last chapters, the paper cup chapters, are dedicated to an exchange I had with a student more than 10 years ago. I've done this in part to prove a point. Your story, my story, Caesar's story, and they are not so different. They are made up of millions of coincidences, mixed signals, and mistakes. And if we look at these moments closely, we can begin to better understand what moves us and how the objects in our vicinity alter our trajectory. I've also done this because this book is a rescue mission, an attempt to go back and understand a moment that's never made any sense to me. It's not just my own personal history. It is also the story of one of my students. In the end, I'm trying to save us both from a life of total obscurity. While this might appear selfish, I think you'll find it entertaining. Is it a power grab? Sure, why not? Fundamentally, this book is a meditation on power, how it is gained, how it is shared, how it is squandered. It is not a guide on how to accrue power, but there are lessons in this book. Because what is the point of history if we cannot learn from it? No, it doesn't repeat itself, and it's foolish to think you can game history. But certain apprehensions and understandings can aid us in our journeys as we cruise our Lamborghini into its parking slot and glide into the box store to buy that laundry basket we need. So rise up from your seat. Step up the short flight of stairs. Tread these creaking boards. The stage is littered with objects, daggers and duct tapes, metal boxes and burlap sacks. Chalk drawings on the floor serve as blockings. An open umbrella in the wings is an ominous sign. Strangely, the smell of rotten mangoes and melting wax permeates, but we know not why. Our first-rate thespians wait for their chance to perform, dressed in topcoats and togas, robes and camouflage. They await their star turn, listening for the whoosh of the curtain and the hum of the spotlight. They scramble on the stage of the world, doing their best to manipulate and conquer, find order, and obtain grace. Dead these many years, they are still doing their best to thrive, to find themselves on freshly written pages in front of freshly reading eyes. Because just as life is a deadly game of survival, so is history. If it stops being interesting, it stops being true. Not false, just beside the point, and slowly it disappears from view. So let's keep it interesting. Let's stay engaged. Let's survive, shall we? And with that in mind, let us recall the words of a writer whose grip on history was light, but oh so illuminating. Admit me, chorus, to this history, whose prologue like your humble patience pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge, our play. You are listening to a free audiobook sample of my book, Props, A History of Power in 7 Lessons. Buy the book or the audiobook on Amazon, and visit normcody.com for other extras.